This is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Scoop News. Taxes, more taxes. That's what the city of Venice, this fine city, may be looking at, possibly. I think 2 years ago I said, look, we're already basically seeing 5 tax increases. I covered the property values, which are going up. That's a tax increase. We are paying more for trash pickup. We've had 2 fee increases, I believe, over the last 2 years. We had the road bond, which is a tax essentially, where we took out a loan and for the roads, and everybody was wondering, well, what happened to Pine Brook and Venice Avenue, which are horrible, and which roads got done? Mine got done. It didn't even really need to be done, but we're paying for it. We're also paying the tax on building the new police station. That's another tax. So the tax is going on and on. Plus, we had a $1 million increase. So obviously, a lot of taxes and fees have been hit with the city of Venice. Right now, they're looking at a fire fee, which to basically cover the expense of the fire department, and something has to go through there, and they're looking at it. Well, that's not enough, and I'd say it's not enough because they're frivolously spending. I've said this over and over, spending on garbage that's not needed. Parking lots out by Sharky's, what is that, $400,000? Just the pet projects list goes on and on and on, and I just get tired of covering it because I don't think anybody's listening. So basically, they're having these workshops, and they had their first one already, and they're trying to come up with how to cover what they believe will be a shortfall in the budgets. They attribute the shortfall to 2 things. They basically are saying that they have to cover the potential cutback that's going to be coming with the revenues in 2020 based upon the voter-approved amendment to the supplementary homestead exemption. And also, they have to cover the increase in the parks because of this conflict with the county. They entered into this agreement where basically they're taking over management of the parks. They're putting it at $700,000. That's a lowball number. I think I've always heard a lot more, so I'm surprised with that. I've heard a couple million. This guy's an idiot. You know what? When he ran, I was wary of him, and more I hear him on the council, the more and more I think, what an ass. And that's Newsom, Chuck Newsom. If you ever watch him on the council meetings, he thinks he knows everything more than everybody. He pushes for pro-growth, like yesterday, pushing for the hotel overboard. And now he's saying, why not tap? Why wouldn't we go ahead and raise the millage rate to offset inflation? And the idiot obviously doesn't understand what the comptroller, Joe Welch, does, which is inflation is somewhat already covered. When taxpayers are out there and their property values are increasing, guess what? That's bringing in more taxes. So this Newsom guy, for those of you that elected the idiot, thank you. Rich Cotero, he's somebody that's always fluctuating. Whichever way the wind blows, he goes that way. Very nice guy, but he cannot hold his decision. He has to go with the group. At first, he was saying, look, we've already raised taxes a couple times on the things that I just covered, but then towards the end of the meeting, he basically said, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and possibly raise the tax rate. Daniels, it's good to know politics here. Now, Daniels is cautioning against relying on a property tax and urged everyone to look at more fees and more parking tickets. But what you have to remember is next year is the last year for Gates. She's termed out. Hollick is termed out. And Daniels is termed out. Now, Daniels is termed out as city council. Everyone knows he wants to be mayor. He's probably going to be your next mayor, replacing Hollick. Hollick, who knows, that guy is on a power trip. He says he's out of it after that. I can't see it. I could see him run for council or county commission because he just loves the power. And Gates, I think she'll be out. The only reason she stayed in was to stop Carlissimo from being able to run. And that's your politics if you pay attention. So they got this budget. Ted Lavelli is in there, and he covered stuff like the Capri Isles Bridge. They think it's going to cost less than the couple million that they have pegged for it, and there's all kinds of other fees out there. Bottom line is they keep spending frivolously on different things, and the public just, prime example, when they bought the Hamilton building that's over by the North Bridge, They bought it not knowing what to do with it. They bought it because, according to Huck, and this is documented, it was on email, I shared it and everything, where he said basically they got a great deal on interest rates on it. The building was still at $1 million or just under that, whatever the price was. They had no idea what to do with it. They thought maybe we'll create parking spaces. Then they found out about the library mold issues, so they leased it to the county for $1 for what, a year or 2 years, whatever it's been. And now, once the library's done and they move that out, now they're saying, well, we're going to take that $1 million piece of property that the taxpayers paid for it, and we're going to put a museum there. Who the fuck cares? Who wants a museum there? But they'll get it because nobody pays attention, nobody cares, and nobody listens to this. You know, I'll get 500, 400 people who watch this, and you can share a lost dog, and I'll get 10,000. Yet this is more important. So that's where we stand. That's why a lot of people are leaving the city of Venice. You're getting a lot of new blood in here, like Newsom, and they're doing all this stuff and making it the, like Hulk said 3-4 years ago, and I actually it might have been more than that, and I pushed this 2 years ago. He denied it. I even showed where he said it in a Sarasota Herald interview, where he said he wanted to make the seaboard, the Riverwalk of Venice, similar to Bradenton. He denied all of that. 2 years later, he's pushing it again. All right, everybody. You got to learn who you're going to listen to. The guy. All right, everybody. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with The Scoop.